You're listening to WKDW Radio 97.5 and KDWRadio.com, broadcasting from the Remax Palm Realty Mobile Tower right here in beautiful Northport, Florida. I've got two really special guests in the house, and I'm going to start out with Shelby. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, John. Thanks so much for having me out today. My name is Shelby Mendelson, and I am the Recreation Manager for City of Northport Parks and Recreation. And I'm super excited to be here today to talk a little bit about our Poinsettia Festival and Parade.
And Devon, please introduce yourself, buddy.
Yes, thank you, John, once again for having us on today. My name is Devon Poulos. I'm the Aquatics Manager, so I have the joy and the privilege of overseeing the Aquatic Center in Warm Mineral Springs, and I'm here today to talk about one of our very successful aquatics programs, Swim with Santa.
Does that happen in the deep end or the shallow?
The Swim with Santa, he stays in the shallow end. Sometimes he jumps in the lazy river. The kids, he's all over.
Fantastic. But we're going to pop back in and talk with Shelby a little bit about the Poinsettia Parade because that's coming up really soon.
It absolutely is. It is approaching quickly. I always like to say, when we get to the last few weeks of preparations, they go by in a flash. So we are almost there on December 7th from 3 to 7 p.m.
What's our crowd like for the Poinsettia Parade?
It seems to grow every year. So when I first started working on this parade, we were a little bit smaller. And over the past few years, we've grown. Typical attendance for this event is 8,000 residents.
That's amazing. What's our route this year?
So the route is the same as it has been in years past. We're very happy with that route. We're very confident in those road closures. But that parade will start and kick off at Sylvania. It'll come all the way down Sumter and finish off at City Hall Boulevard, right at the entrance of our festival.
We've done this in the past, but please tell everyone how they should view the Poinsettia Parade and where they should park and do different things.
Yep. So as I mentioned, this event just continues to grow. So parking is a huge piece. Spectator viewing is also essential for this event. There's multiple options for people to be able to utilize to view the parade. So thankfully, we do close down the roads. All northbound Sumter lanes close at 2 o'clock. So that gives ample time for parade goers to be able to grab a seat upon Sumter, or also one of the best spots, in my opinion, is right on City Hall where the festival starts, because you'll get to actually hear an MC read a little portion from each of our parade units. And a little bit about their business or nonprofit and why they're so essential to the Northport community. So that's a real nice advantage there. That takes place over by our judging area. So we're lucky enough to have a good panel of judges each year that are able to put some scores to the hard work that the Northport citizens do on their floats. So those are really great spots. Parking will be available at the George Mullen Activity Center and City Hall campus. It's just important to remember that entrances to those campuses will close at 4 o'clock. So you're going to want to make sure to get there at the start of festival, which is at 3 p.m. We'll have additional parking at the Morgan Family Community Center, where we'll have a shuttle service that will be able to bring participants both to the festival, and those participating in the parade will also have 2 shuttles available to take to get dropped off there.
I've been to the parade and I've viewed it from the street level because I walked it. And what's really cool about it is seeing all the people, all the kids along the street lines. I want to talk a little bit about the north and southbound on Sumter, because they still do both directions, but they do it on the far side of Sumter, right?
That is correct. Yep. So there will still be traffic flowing both ways. It's just we're going to be on the opposite side of the median on Sumter, headed towards and away from I-75.
So really the smaller kids, I'm not thinking that you're encouraging parents to put them in the middle of the median because there's still active traffic on that other side. You're really trying to put them on the curb side of 41, really on the police station side of Sumter, correct?
Absolutely. And we're going to have some barricades out there this year that will be super helpful in making sure everyone remains safe. Because as I've mentioned, this event just continues to grow. So if citizens see those barricades in place, they're going to want to make sure to stay behind those barricades. still a really great viewing spot parade.
And so the parade starts at Sylvania, or
Yes.
so all right. So we're starting at Sylvania, but also on that road, it's kind of closed down too, because that is the prep road, isn't it?
That is correct. Yep. So we do have a few road closures that we do put out in our traffic press release, which will come out prior to the event. So it talks about all of those off streets. La France is one of the main ones. And we also send a letter to all of those residents that they should be getting here within the next week, outlining those road closures. That way they can prepare for their day as well in terms of when they should or should not plan to leave for the day.
And most of them, if they've lived there and not purchased recently, they kind of know that this is coming, because how many years in a row now has this route been in play?
Boy, if I had to think about how many years that's been in place, I know it's been for several.
Yes,
I couldn't give you an exact number. Right? I'm sorry?
Enough to be established.
Yes, definitely enough to be established. Over 5 years it's been in that route. I know it used to be a different way down by Dallas White, but we've been pretty established in this area for quite some time.
And you know what happens as the route finishes? I know, and people who have been there before know, but the route, it takes off, it comes down Sumter, and then it turns into where the police department is, and it kind of makes a loop right there. But there's an event that happens on the green, isn't there?
There is, yes. That's our Poinsettia Festival, which this year is being sponsored by Resurrection Pools, whereas our Poinsettia Parade is being presented by Quality TV. So we're super thankful for them and assisting us in putting on these events. But our Poinsettia Festival this year will be from 3 to 7 p.m. A lot of exciting activities that we'll have out there for families. And one of the best things, in my opinion, about this event is pretty much every advantage for people to come to this event, every amenity is free to them. So unless they're wanting to purchase food from a food truck or visit one of our merchants at the Holiday Shopping Village, everything like the Kids Zone, visits with Santa, those are all free for your family to come and enjoy.
Something that
I think is outstanding that we're able to do each year.
And so even adding that all in, there's also something else there's the Kiwanis has their cards up, don't they?
They do, yes. Each year the Kiwanis is able to do a temporary use permit, and they do a holiday card lane down the green. And it's a really great way. I know that businesses like to get involved and have their face be part of Poinsettia Parade and Festival.
Are there any other organizations that have added excitement into the festival at all?
So we have a lot of in-kind sponsors that are part of this event. So we get help from Home Depot, whether it's the Poinsettias or the Kids Workshop. We have the Imagine Young Marines that are super helpful in making sure that we have assistance with the Kids Zone. We have Do the Happy Bounce that is always so gracious to give us additional amenities. We have Twisty Balloon Fun and Remy's Face Painting. Those are all some of the big contributors to this event that are able to bring up the scale of it.
Now let's talk about the most important thing, and that would be restrooms. Are there plenty of restrooms for people to go?
There are. So our main restroom locations will be the George Mullen Activity Center, and then also out on the festival grounds, we'll have portalettes available. That includes ADA portalettes. So there's plenty of places for people to be able to utilize the restroom during the festival.
You know, you guys have been doing this long enough, and you do enough of the interaction with the citizens of Northport. You really have put a lot of time and energy into prepping for things like this. And then the post-event meetings that you guys have to make them better each and every year. That means a lot to you guys, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So something I'm very passionate about, coming from that event management background, is the risk management when it comes to events. So as you're familiar with, the city of Northport continues to grow, and it will continue to grow, which means our events are going to be larger and they're going to have higher populations attending them. So what we do as a team is we work together, all of the city departments, through an ICS setup. So through that, ICS stands for Incident Command System, and we're really able to troubleshoot issues, work together as a team to make sure that each city department is working cohesively towards that end goal. And from a risk management perspective, that's huge. Day of event, we have a whole emergency on-call center that works together. We have representatives from every city department. Should there be an emergency or should there be a situation that needs to be taken care of, we take that very seriously. We want the events to go off well. We want to have a plan. And aside from everyone having a really great time, we want to keep everyone safe. So we do take it very seriously. We take it very much to heart. And these are things that we continue to work on and improve year to year.
And I'm gonna ask this, or even say it in a roundabout sort of way. We are kind of the talk of the town as far as this goes, and also the surrounding areas. We attract a lot of people to this event, don't we?
We do. From our parade units to food vendors to merchants at Holiday Shopping Village to attendees, we are seeing people from all over the surrounding areas. Our parade units this year filled up quicker, I think, than they ever have in the past. So I think that just really speaks to the experience that people have, knowing that we're going to be organized, we're going to get them what they need, and we're going to make sure that they leave having really great memories at the event.
I'm going to lead this into Devon here in a minute, but I always give kudos out to you guys after these events and before these events. But I think the citizens need to realize how valuable they are to people outside of our community who get influenced to want to be part of our community and maybe want to move here and keep our housing sales higher, our participation from different vendors that are out there, possibly even drawing in some businesses that never thought about Northport being a focal point, and now they are. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. I think that's a great point. We are spearheading a lot of these larger events here in Northport, and we do see a lot of people from different areas come. And I think it really proves to show the advantages of living and working and playing for us in Northport for sure. And
Mr. Parks and Rec over here, I know he's all over it. He's a chest pounder. So Devon, you know how much I care about you and your story and your history, and we've had you on the show before. But talk about the Aquatic Center and Swim with Santa and what that means to you guys.
Absolutely. So before we jump into that, I just want to once again highlight, and I know Shelby did, the amount of work that Shelby and we work very closely together as managers in the department, and the amount of time and energy that Shelby and her team have to put into this event. This is months and months. We're talking 8-9 months of planning that goes into a one-night event. So kudos to Shelby and her team, because like she said, they do a great job every year. It gets better and better. So the Swim with Santa event, this is an event, this will be our fourth one. Last year, unfortunately, we had some kind of squally weather come in through the winter, but this year it's going to be on December 21st. It's from 10 a.m. to noon. Santa makes the trip for us 4 days early just to come out here and be with the kids at the pool. We get gifts donated, in from various businesses, organizations, and it's all about just having a good time. This event, we were the first ones in the area to do this event, and we serve hot chocolate. There's games, there's goodie bags. Santa shows up in his royal red outfit, and he takes pictures with the kids. And it's just nice to see smiles on the families. After he's done there, Santa jumps in the pool, as you guys can see on our flyer, and he gets in there and he swims with the kids. And this event goes on for a couple hours. It's also a great time that we can introduce people that maybe don't understand how the Aquatic Center operates, have never been to the Aquatic Center before, but it kind of gives them a insight into why we close the Aquatic Center in the wintertime, because they touch the lazy river and they go, wow, that is really cold. For that. So most of the events do take place in our heated competition pool, which stays 84 degrees all year round there, but it's just an all around great event. We've had event crowds go all the way up to 400. And this year we're seeing some really good numbers. So there is space available. It's $10 per person. The adults are complimentary with their children. So that's a huge piece there, is this event we want to see those families come and interact. We want to see them make the reindeer food, decorate their ornament, play some games, have some hot chocolate. It's just an all-around great event.
I'm listening to you, and the one comparison that I would say to the parade and Swim with Santa is that the word family is used in there quite a bit. The kids are a focal point, and even the parents are a focal point, because there isn't a lot of overhead to do either one of these two events when it comes to the out-of-pocket expense. When times have been kind of tight, these are great opportunities to interact with people within the city, participate in a parade, go to the after event after the parade, and enjoy the festival and the festivities there, and really be part of the community that maybe you've never done before. And talk about how your focus is on the families at Swim with Santa.
Absolutely. So our focus here, we do a survey every single year, and we, can get ranges of 80 people to 200, 300 people that fill it out. And our focus every year as a department is we want to ensure that everyone has access to high quality programs and events in the community. You will never see two high visited events on the same day. We talk those things through. So
Shelby, Shelby, you there?
Yep. Can you hear me?
I don't know what.
Can you hear me?
A high quality. Go ahead.
So high quality events and programs for everyone. And in the community, we sit down once a year and we plan out all of our events and programs. So all of 2025 has already been planned out for our department, because we want to ensure that families can enjoy the Poinsettia Parade and still make it to Swim with Santa. They don't have to pick between those two there. And we want, as you stated, Shelby and I's divisions there, and then Jeff, the other manager as well. It's a huge economic driver for people that want to build their homes here, move here, visit these places there, and the programs just get better and better and better. Now, one good problem we can't always control is population, and the population has boomed in the time that we've been here, and we're trying to figure out how we can continue to provide those same high quality events with 10% more people showing up to the events. But at the Swim with Santa, we look at those items and we're programming really for those kids and those families. And it's amazing when you see the moms, dads, grandma, and grandpas. They never would have thought to decorate an ornament, but if you get their child to decorate an ornament, they're sitting down there and they're coloring. It's outdoors. We don't have electronics, things like that. So we really focus on across, both divisions, making sure that we are inclusive of everyone there, fully accessible events, things like that.
Family time.
Yes, absolutely.
Woo! So I can't do this show without saying to you what a value the Aquatic Center is, because while it's not always been a supportive piece in our city, I want to highlight something, because there is something of a blessing about the Aquatic Center, and it is the fact that we're touching the second grade population and water safety. And I had this conversation the other day with somebody who kept saying the Aquatic Center doesn't give us any value. 100% wrong information. So I want to correct some information. While you may not like the Aquatic Center, please inform the citizens on how we're changing the water safety for the kids in our area, because we also have 80 miles of canals that we have to take into consideration.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, John, when they come here for tours, and I'll publicly say this here, is if you only look at this for a water park and water slides, you're missing the point of why the city designed and built it the way they did. It is absolutely critical that we provide. We get typically 650 plus second graders every single year that come through this program. I'm getting goosebumps now talking about it. When you have a child that gets into the pool on day one and cannot swim off the wall without going under, and by day 5, and we've only been with them 5 45-minute sessions, and they can swim 15 yards, If there's anybody out there that doesn't like the aquatic center, please reach out to me and I'll let you know when those days are. And I'd love for you to come see that. There is no value that you can put on water safety. And if you look around in the industry, and it's always the financial piece, if you look around at municipal pools and you look around, all of them, because the way they're designed to provide that equity and access, all run a deficit. It's point blank and simple. I cannot say that anymore. As an aquatic center, to have the amount of staff that we do and only run the deficit that we do is pretty good. It's unheard of. We've Trish Sturgis, our assistant director, and I presented at a state conference.
Amazing.
People come up to us and say, how are you recouping 65% of your expenses? That's unheard of in the industry. So when we're looking at Parks and Rec, it's sort of kind of been used against to say that we are the equity driving business. We need to make it equal for everyone to enjoy. And there's always ways. And I won't speak for Shelby, but I can say, because I spent enough time with Shelby, is that we are always looking for ways to recoup all expenses. Not every program should be designed to recoup all expenses. It's important you keep those programs there. And when we look at this and go, we've had over 6,000 kids through our swim program since we opened, you can't put a value on that.
There is something to be said about all that, but surrounding communities are doing the same thing. Are we just doing it a little better than most?
Yeah, I think so. Right now, for example, a county to the south of us, they don't have a second grade swim program. We track data, we track numbers. Shelby and I live here in the city. People think that city employees, I don't know where they think we go to at the end of the night, but we live here as well. I pay taxes as well. I own a home in the city of Northport. So it helps us all when we're taking a look at those items to really get the best value, for that to be able to continue. The hard part is people want the same value, but don't want to fund it. And you can't have the same high quality program on less funding. And that's where we every year come together to really figure out how we can continue providing that same high quality program on funding that has stayed flat.
And I'm going to go back to Swim with Santa in this whole segment, because if you just listen to just what you just said and then incorporate the fact that we're still highlighting water safety, we're still highlighting all of what's available in Northport, with even the parade ending at City Hall. Yep. We've got the new park at City Hall. We've got Pop Warner at City Hall. We've got the Mullins Center at City Hall that's still active, that still has events and does things. We've got the Morgan Center, who is right there by Swim with Santa, and it's extremely active. And there's just so much to, and I got to tell you, I'm going to second you on the goosebumps, because every time I talk about this topic, because you have educated me, Trish has educated me, I understand as a taxpayer myself the value in our park system and what it brings to not just our city, but the youth in our city that honestly don't have Chuck E. Cheese. They don't have all these places. So a great park system, and a park system that cares about the influence that you guys play in their lives and the neighborhood spots that we have. People need to get the book, and they need to go through the book and check out all the parks, because the playbook is dynamite. But all of these extra activities that you do between the parade and the festival and Swim with Santa, those are add-ons to what you guys are doing in the Parks and Recreation system.
Absolutely.
And Shelby, we've got we're at 24 and some change in this conversation, and it, to me, there's some excitement that goes into this for you, working this long and tirelessly on one project, but it's not the only thing you do. You weren't hired just to do this. You do a lot more than that, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And just to sort of piggyback off of what Devon was saying, for us, when we're looking at budgets and revenues, our budget cycle for us, we're looking at all year long. from every program detail to every fund that we have and where we spend it, it's vital. We are consistently looking at quality of life, how we can improve it, and how we can keep our programs up to a certain standard whilst being cognizant of the taxpayer dollar, because that is ultimately our job and what we live for. And then for me, I mean, everything else that we do here, there's a lot. So from programs, I know you mentioned a few programs. If you look at our 2025 calendar, it is just busting at the seams, which we love, and I have a team that works with me that works so hard. And I would not be able to accomplish, the recreation division would not be able to accomplish half of what we do without them. They are very much experts in the field. They work tirelessly to make sure that we are, again, looking at the surveys and the feedback that we get from the community, and making sure that we're meeting those goals that they have for us. Additionally, we have the 2 community centers, so the Morgan Family Community Center and the George Mullen Activity Center, where we have fitness centers. We have a new gymnasium coming to the Morgan Family Community Center. Thank goodness, right?
Yep.
So we have those that are active with instructor-led classes. We have at least 2 handfuls of instructor-led classes that we operate out of both of our facilities. Facility rentals, we're talking baby showers, birthday parties. Again, those community building pieces that, we offer affordable rates so people can have those gatherings together.
And it's valuable because we're 90,000 strong, 97,000 strong, and not
Right.
slowing down. We're going to bust 100,000 at the beginning of next year. And everything that you guys do, that's an asset. We're kind of winding down here a little bit, but talk about the date again and the time for the parade, and then we'll go down to Devon and finish up.
Absolutely. So the Poinsettia Parade and Festival will be on December 7th from 3 to 7 p.m.
Awesome. And Devon?
Swim with Santa is December 21st, 10 a.m. to noon.
I got to tell you, I'm super excited about this. Thank you guys for being part of the show. This is John Rawlings with Shelby and Devon saying thanks for listening in, and have a happy holiday, and come out to the events, be part of it. They're super excited to engage with the community, and so is everyone in Parks and Rec and city staff. So thank you guys very much, and Merry Christmas to you guys, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all the citizens and the staff at City Hall and within the city of Northport. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.